So bringing Newt Gingrich, Fox News contributor, former House Speaker. Sir, good morning to you. Thanks for coming back. ABC, Washington Post, a few days ago, here's what they listed as the #1 issues among Americans and voters, the economy at 84%. You've got that to chew on in the face of this inflation number. Not a lot of time to make up for something like that when election's right around the corner.
Well, the problem is, Louis Brogdon, who works with me, came in yesterday morning. He'd stopped by the grocery store to pick up 4 hot dogs, paid over $7, and was just saying, you're not going to be able to sell this to the American people. And I think Gallup has reported the largest Republican advantage on the economy since 1946, which was a landslide for the congressional Republicans. I think that the average American knows every time they go to the gas station. California, by the way, is projected may get to $8 a gallon because it's the most expensive gasoline in the country because of state laws. Every time they go to buy something at the grocery store, every time they deal with a supply chain, for example, and getting something for their house, this ain't working. And Joe Biden and the Democrats bear the burden. They have the House, they have the Senate, they have the White House, and it ain't working. And I think, personally, I think you're going to see a tsunami because virtually everybody who's undecided will break for the Republicans. So if you're a Democrat and you're below 53 or 54%, you're very likely going to lose come Election Day.
Interesting that President Biden told Jake Tapper this week that he thinks that Republicans don't have anything to run on. Listen to this.
So you think Democrats have something to run on?
Oh, I think we do. I know we do. What's the Republican platform to run on? What are they running on? What are they for? They want to put Social Security on the chopping block every 5 years, and the other leader comes along and says, no, every year it should be up for grabs. Medicare, Medicaid. I mean, these aren't negotiable items in terms of whether they're going to continue them or not.
How do you think Republicans should respond to that?
Well, look, I carry around with me Kevin McCarthy's House Republican Commitment to America. You can go to commitmentoamerica.com. There are 150 specific policy proposals, many of which Joe Biden would not like to see get to the White House desk, but the American people would like it. So to suggest that Republicans don't have something to run on, and by the way, Senator McConnell, the Senate Republican leader, and Senator Rick Scott, the Senate campaign leader, have both endorsed the concepts of a commitment to America. I think there's a huge gap between the failure of the Biden team, the failure of the Democrats, and the fact that all they've got left is to attack and, frankly, lie. They lied about Afghanistan. They've lied about the economy. They've lied about inflation. They've lied about the border. So, of course, they're going to lie about Republicans. That's the hallmark of their campaign.
It almost feels as every day you can sense this election shifting a little bit. And you may be right. You could see the tsunami you talked about. Go ahead.
Well, Bill, the way that I've lived through a series of these, 1974, 1980, 1994, 2010. Starting around Labor Day, the momentum just starts growing and growing and growing. And the reason is, it doesn't matter what the TV ads say. It doesn't matter what you and I say. People go out and in their own lives, they experience the failure. And they finally say, whether it's watching crime on the evening news, being afraid to go on the subway in New York, as people now tell me they are, the whole process, people in their own lives. This is why, frankly, Herschel Walker is going to win. It's why Mehmet Oz is going to win. 70% of Philadelphians say crime is their biggest issue. So if the Democrats aren't losing them on inflation and the cost of living crisis, they're losing them on crime. They're losing them on the border and 100,000 Americans dying from drug overdoses as fentanyl pours into the country. They're losing them on the fact that, for Kamala Harris to go on television and say the border is secure is a joke. And it's a tragic joke. And you saw this happen in the debate in the Senate in Ohio, where Tim Ryan was talking about the rape of a young girl, and J.D. Vance pointed out, yeah, she had been raped by an illegal immigrant, and Ryan had voted against controlling the border time after time after time. If that illegal immigrant hadn't been here, she wouldn't have been raped. And I think people have this sense this stuff's all out of control. They can't tell the truth about it. And they are hung up on things like transgender issues when most of us just want our kids to be safe, Go to a school that succeeds, and you saw yesterday the worst results on college tests in 30 years. So, you know, I think people generally think the system's not working right now.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. With 26 days to go. So we will be in touch with you, and looks like things look good for the Republicans right now. We'll see if there's any other October surprises. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.